Hello guys, long time no see and welcome to the channel. Hope you've all been okay, and if you're new, please consider subscribing to the channel as we are almost at 20 subs. Also, if you wish to watch this series in order, then click the link at the top right now. Anyway, I'll give you a brief of what happened last time. In the last video, we see Orion as a captive of the Decepticons, but he also bears witness to exactly what Dark Energon can do. It is used to resurrect his former mentor into an enraged monstrosity. It is then revealed to Orion that Megatron is now fueled by the corruptive substance and how the Decepticons plan to use it. With that now aside, let's begin. Darkness shrouded Orion as he was escorted to Megatron. He was told he would learn the full power the Decepticons possessed. As they approached the location, the Autobot began to hear a faint voice in his head calling to him. In the distance, a giant suspended metal sphere was visible in the distance. Each step Orion took towards it made the voice become louder. When Orion asked the guards about the voice, they shoved him aside, as to them it looked like Orion may have faulty audio receptors or was going insane. After some time passed, they finally arrived with the giant sphere in front of them, which was surrounded by Decepticons who were working on machinery, similar machinery that was used on Orion's mentor. Stood on a platform above, Megatron gazed over what would soon be his greatest masterpiece. "Ah, he's here," Megatron said as he glanced at Orion. "Welcome to the beginning of a new world, my world. You see, Orion, I could care less of who and what you are. Autobot, Protectobot, Destron, it doesn't matter. What matters is who gets in the way of the Decepticons' path to glory. The Decepticons never held prejudice against your kind. They could have joined us, but this war started because their ideas for our future didn't match mine. Dark Energon has strengthened me, but beyond my own processing, it allows me to control whomever I please. And now with Dark Energon soon to be in the very core of Cybertron, I will control this entire planet." Perplexed, Orion realized exactly where he was, and before he could do anything, Megatron gave the order to infuse the core. Shockwaves filled the room as spikes of Dark Energon began to emerge from the core and travel towards the surface, causing for the area that Orion and the Decepticons were in to collapse around them. Without hesitation, the Decepticons transformed and fled, leaving Orion behind to be buried in the rubble and rust in peace. Now, back on the surface, Megatron gloated as his power was at its peak and he had gained an edge in the war. He had now set his eyes on conquering any Autobot bases he could find with his newfound power. Leading the Decepticons, Megatron transformed and rushed towards his prey. A decacycle had passed, and Megatron's conquest of Cybertron was becoming slower and slower. At his fortress, Darkmount, he was greeted by the scientist Shockwave, who had unfortunate news. Shockwave told Megatron that ever since he corrupted the core, the planet's regular energon supplies weren't being replenished anymore, and even though Dark Energon grants a Cybertronian destructive powers, it cannot sustain their spark. Therefore, Shockwave concluded that eventually the planet will become uninhabitable to all Cybertronians. Thus, a new world must be found. Distraught, Megatron blasted one of the nearby guards with his pulse cannon. "Impossible!" Megatron said. The scientist suggested to prepare the Nemesis for takeoff as soon as possible, yet Megatron intended to rule his planet for longer, and dismissed Shockwave for now. After conserving enough energon, Orion began to reactivate, only for his optics to find complete and utter darkness. Crushed and trapped by the rubble, Orion began and was able to free himself. Now looking for an escape, he took in his surroundings and laid his optics on a faint light coming through a crack. Transforming, the Autobot smashed through the wall in his alt mode to discover the magnificent yet corrupted core, which began to flash with dazzling light. "Orion Pax," voice called, yet this time it wasn't in Orion's head. Instead, it was the core itself. Slightly distorted, the voice said, "Orion, I have been damaged and corrupted by the presence of Dark Energon, meaning I can no longer sustain life on this planet. In order for me to recover, I must become dormant for millions of years to cleanse the corruption, meaning you and your Autobots must leave to survive. Nevertheless, you will not be alone, and you will not be powerless. I bestow to you a portion of my spark, the matrix of leadership, once held by your brother Primer. It will guide you and restore your original persona that hid you away so long ago. You are now reborn as Optimus Prime, one of the original 13, leader of the Autobots, the last Prime. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, then drop a like, and if you want to see the next part, subscribe to the channel. Also, apologies for not uploading in such a long time, as my mic on my headphones broke, and I also wanted to make sure that this video was as good as I can make it. Anyways, I hope you have a lovely day, and see you soon.